everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm doing my 5K Q&A. So about a week ago, I posted a video asking for all of your questions to kind of celebrate hitting 5,000 subscribers. You guys asked me so many questions. There's literally so many and I want to answer them all. So I'm gonna try to go through them as quick as I can because there are a lot. And I do want to say a big thank you to all of you who did send in questions, and obviously a big thank you to all 5,000 of my subscribers. I truly appreciate it. It's just so amazing. I still can't believe I have 5,000. So big thank you for hitting 5K and then also for sending in all of your questions. So I do have them here on my computer. I'm going to answer them. I have a section of bookish questions, and then kind of like booktube, and then some personal questions. So I will obviously start with the book related questions. Book tropes you hate. Definitely love triangles. Do not like those at all. Aside from love triangles, I feel like I do love a lot of book tropes, and like I'm not really picky. I feel like as long as they're done pretty good, then they don't really bother me. Like I love book tropes. I feel like that is what the romance genre thrives on, is like tropes, and I absolutely love that. So love triangles is the only trope I truly hate. Do you like series or standalones more? I'm gonna say series. What are the elements that make a perfect story for you? Again, I'm not really picky. As long as there is a romance in the story, it's perfect for me. I feel like if it has my favorite tropes, like enemies to lovers or fake dating or arranged marriage or like marriage and convenience, like if it has one of those tropes, like it'll be the perfect story for me. I don't have particular things that I need in a book for me to love it. I just feel like if it has a trope I really love, I'll read it. And for me, it's if I really like the characters. That is kind of what makes the story. So as long as there's a romance and the trope is done well and I like the characters, it's great. I need to stop doing this. What is your second favorite genre of books to read? If it's not contemporary, I do love paranormal, or I still really love dystopians. So, how long have you been a reader? I feel like I've been a reader my entire life, but I truly started avidly reading in like 2012. Where did you get your bookshelves? My bookshelves are the Billy bookshelves from IKEA. What is your favorite book to reread? Probably the Rosemary Beach series by Abby Glines, specifically Fallen Too Far, Never Too Far, and Forever Too Far, just because they are the quickest rereads ever. And I really love Rush and Blair. What is the longest book you read? I think it's The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt is the longest book I've read. What's the shortest book that I have on my shelves? It is right here. It is The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. But the shortest book I've ever read is probably any Alexa Riley book, because their books are really not long at all. How do you read faster? I get this question all the time, like how do I read so much? How am I such a fast reader? And truly there is no like secret to it. There is no special way. There is no, it's just like how I read. I did make a whole video about how I read fast and like my tips and tricks, I guess. I'll link that video down below, but I can't explain how I'm such a fast reader. It's just how I read. Like, I don't know. I wish there was like this magic way that like we could all read really fast and be able to like read a lot of books all the time, but I really don't know the answer to that. It's just how I read. Have you ever thought of writing your own book? Would you ever consider writing a book? I have thought about it. I do have like ideas, but I don't think I would ever write a book. Honestly, I'm more interested in writing screenplays for either like television or movies or plays. Like I'm more interested in that than actually like writing a book. So I do have ideas, but I don't think it would be like a traditional book. What advice would you give to someone who wants to read a lot of books in a month? I would say don't stress yourself out about it and try to make like small goals. So if you want to read like 20 books in a month, try to read like a book every 2 days or something. Like try to do like a small achievable goal. That way like you won't feel defeated. And also take every second that you can to read. Like, even if you only read 5 pages, that's better than 0 pages, if that makes sense. And also listen to audiobooks. If you're not feeling one book, put it down, pick something up. Like, I feel like sometimes we focus too much on trying to finish one book, even if we're not enjoying it, when we could probably be reading something we'd really, really like more, and it would take less time because we're more into it, if that makes sense. Don't stress yourself out about it, but take every minute and opportunity to read. Do your friends read as much as you? No. I had one friend in high school who read a lot, but other than that, like, none of my friends really read. How do people react when you tell them how much you read? They are very shocked. Yeah, I think it definitely amazes a lot of people that I read a lot. How old were you when you got into books? Kind of the same question I already got. I've always been a reader, but I was 16 when I started like avidly reading. Do you enjoy books that don't have romance in them? Yes, but I have to be like in a certain mood for that. I mean, even YA books have a certain amount of romance in them, even if it's like a YA fantasy. So I feel like those don't really count. But for example, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt doesn't really have a romance at all, and I really enjoyed that one. Or any like thrillers I really enjoy. Most of them don't have romances in them. Yeah, I have to be in a certain mood to read books that don't have romance in them. And sometimes if there's no romance in a book, it makes the book extremely boring for me. So, what is your top 3 all-time favorite books / series? This answer probably changes all of the time. I feel like if I find a new favorite, it kind of bumps up. I'm gonna go with probably The Hating Game. I am gonna go with A Monster in His Eyes by Jim Darhower. I always say her last name wrong. Probably the Rosemary Beach series by Abby Glines. That is what I'm sticking with right now. All very different books. Do you prefer reading a book in one sitting or a little slower over a few days? 100% read a book in one sitting. It's very rare for me to actually put a book down and pick it up in a couple of days. Unless it's super long, I tend to read a book always in one sitting. Favorite heroine and why? I don't talk about this series that much anymore because a lot of things happen that kind of like ruin the series for me, but I'm gonna go with Lily from the Addicted series by Kristen Becker Ritchie. I love Lily so much. I think her story and her development as a character and her growth was just so beautiful, and this series means a lot to me. I don't talk about it a lot because there was just a lot of drama that happened, and you know when like things happen that upset you and it kind of like not ruins, but it wrecks your relationship with a book or a series or an author or whatever, and that's just how I feel about the series. But I do really, really love it, and I don't talk about it because it does hurt, but I feel like Lily is one of my favorite characters of all time. With which character you identify the most or has some similarities from your life? I'm gonna go with Rose from A Walk in the Sun by Michelle Zink. This features a girl who grew up on a farm, and I think it's her mother passes away, and she is trying to continue with the farm, and I relate in the way that I grew up on a farm, and my grandmother passed away when I was 11, and it truly like affected my life and the farm life, and it was really, really hard. So I feel like I do relate to Rose, and we have a lot of similarities and yeah, similar life, I guess, situations. This is definitely one of my favorite YA contemporaries. But another character that I identify with or have similarities with is Nicolette from Moonlight Seduction by Jennifer Armentrout. Not only do we share a name, but I do feel like we have a lot of similarities, which is kind of weird, and I felt like I related a lot to her. So yeah, maybe it's like a name thing, I don't know, but I felt like we're very similar in ways. So Kiss, Marry, Kill, pick any of the characters you read. I feel like somebody should pick this for me, because like, I'm gonna pick a character I hate to kill. Oh, I would kiss Let's go with Remy from the Real series. I would marry Josh Templeman, and I would kill... Honestly, the only one that's coming to mind that I would kill is the Darkling. I hate him. What annoys you in romance books? I would say the crazy ex. Like, just when exes come in the picture that are not like the love interests. I just really don't like that. Oh yeah, there's like the crazy ex and she's suddenly pregnant with like the hero's baby. That drives me insane. I hate that in books. I hate that in romance books. It's like the worst unnecessary drama ever. I just really don't like it. And then it turns out to not be his kid, or it turns out she's not pregnant at all. It's just, I really don't like it at all. I hate it. What kind of romance books makes you insta buy it? Tropes, characters, plotline. Again, all of my favorite tropes will like instantly make me want to buy it. And also obviously like my auto buy authors, I'll always like just buy their books. A dark romance, a mafia romance, I'll buy it right away. It's kind of about it. A popular book that you dislike, I can't really think of anything. I have tried, I have like a tag coming up in, I think on Wednesday, and there's like a question of like a popular romance book you don't like or whatever. And for the life of me, I can't think of anything. I feel like there's not one romance book that I hate that everybody loves. I feel like there are a few that I'm kind of like about, but everything else like I don't hate. Yeah, I feel like even a lot of popular YA books I still really like, so I can't answer this one, I'm so sorry. Most underrated books that we should definitely check out. Love Game by Tracy Wolff. That is like a romance suspense mystery. So good. I'm like looking around my shelves to find answers. I would say the Winston Brothers series by Penny Reid. Oh, maybe the Misadventures of a College Girl by Lauren Rowe and Misadventures of a Backer Bride by Shayla Black. I really love those books. Jock Row by Sarah Nye, but I feel like everybody loves that book because it's really great. I feel like that's all I can really think about. I feel like I have a very specific taste in books. I feel like a lot of people don't like the same books as me, so. Have you read the Dead Angel series by Sandra Hill? I have not, but I'm definitely going to check it out. If you were to choose 2 books to save in a fire, what books would it be? And I think I'm going to pick City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare and Some Kind of Perfect by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I'm going to be real honest with myself and say that these, I don't know if I'd necessarily pick this one in the series, but I feel like I would pick one of Cassandra Clare's books because her characters mean so much to me that I would probably pick one of these books. And then I have obviously a huge love for the Addicted series, so I would probably pick this big monster of a book. So these I would probably save. If you were to name your future children after book characters, which names would you pick? This is a really good question. I always thought that if at some random situation I had twin boys, I would name them William and James, like Will and Jem. If I ever had twin boys, that would be their name. But just because I feel like that would be perfect for twin boy names, Will and Jem. I love that. I can't really think of a character I would name my kids after, to be honest. Other than like Will and Jem, I don't have any other names. Okay, if I look a little different or if I'm at a different angle, it's because my camera died, so I had to wait for it to charge. So I'm going to continue my Q&A. Now I have a couple of BookTube questions. So what inspired you to be a booktuber? I had been watching BookTube for a good couple of years before I decided to make videos. 3 years ago when I started, there was definitely a lack of romance on BookTube, and that is kind of what inspired me to create my channel. I wanted to talk more about romance books, and I just feel like there wasn't a lot of it. Now the community is growing, but even like 3 years ago there was only a few, so that is definitely what motivated me. Plus at the time I think my brother had got like a really nice camera for Christmas, and I would borrow it and would like bulk film things, and then I'd give his camera back, and then I would do that until I bought my camera. And yeah, that's just kind of what inspired it. Plus, I was living alone, so it made it easier to then like actually film stuff. What is the one thing you don't like about BookTube? I would say sometimes it can feel a little lonely or like a little cliquey in a way. Sometimes I do feel like a little excluded. I think that's like the only one thing I don't like about BookTube is that, yeah, it can feel a little cliquey and like it feels like everybody else is friends with each other and like you're not. I'm also not the best person to like comment on other people's videos and like start conversations and all of that. Like I'm just really bad at it in general. So I feel like it's not really BookTube's fault. It's more like my fault. I don't really put myself out there to like make friends with other creators or whatever. Like the one thing I dislike about BookTube is more like my own fault, kind of. Which other booktubers do you watch? There are like some that I occasionally watch and then there's some that I watch like all the time. Like I'll watch every single video. But usually the booktubers that I watch are Books and Lala, Jessica from Peace Love Books, Riley Marie, Chelsea Darling Reads. Oh, new one is Lacey Book Lovers. That's all I can really think of at the top of my head. I'd have to like actually look at my subs to see who I watch all the time. What made you want to start making YouTube videos and what motivates you into making them? Kind of already answered that. There was definitely a lack of romance on BookTube, so that's kind of why I joined. Even though like 3 years ago I was still reading a heavy amount of YA, but I feel like in the past 3 years I've definitely strayed away more from YA and I just kind of stick to romance. But what motivates you into making them? Honestly, I would say you guys. Like I know that's really cheesy, but my viewers are definitely like what motivates me into making videos because like truly if I had no subscribers, like it would be really hard to feel like you want to make videos because you're like, why even bother when no one's watching? You know? That's sometimes how I feel, but because I do have a good amount of you who actually like watch all of my videos. And so it does motivate me. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to post more. I want to make more videos. Like I have that interaction. So it's just, it makes you want to create more stuff. I also feel like I do have random times where I feel like extremely motivated and just want to create content. So I think it's a little bit of both. How are the people around you feel about you? How are the people around you? How do they feel about you making videos? That was worded wrong. But my family is super supportive. They are very amazed at how I have 5,000 subscribers and they just like kind of don't understand how like my channel keeps growing. But I don't think any of my family really watches my videos. Not my parents, that's for sure, nor my brother. I think like maybe extended family watches the odd one. But yeah, everybody's super supportive and it's not like I make videos in front of them. So I don't live with my family. They don't hear me making videos. They don't hear me talking about books. So it's like a separate thing, if that makes sense. Now on to the personal questions. So what is the best piece of advice you've ever given / life advice you live by? Life advice that I live by: don't spend more money than you have in your bank account. My father has drilled that into my head since I was little. Even though I buy a lot of books, I never spend more money than I have in my bank account, and I will never do that in my entire life. How old are you? I am 23 years old. Would you like to have kids sometime in the future? Yes. Do you have any other hobbies besides reading? Do you like watching TV and movies count as a hobby? Because if so, yes. Other than that, like I don't really have any other things that I love doing as much as reading. If you were a flower, what kind would you be? Probably a daisy, because I really love daisies for some reason. Are you a cat / dog or neither person? I grew up with both because I grew up on a farm, but I do have to say I'm a dog person, but like a small dog person. I like cats, but I prefer dogs, I guess. Have you ever had your heart broken devastatingly, am I saying that right? As Bella did during the blank pages of New Moon? No, I haven't. Where do you work? I work at a clothing store. What state do you live in? I live in Canada, so I live in a province. And I live in Saskatchewan. Do you have any siblings? Yes, I have a younger brother. He is 2 years younger than me. Did you go / are you in school? Do you have plans for future education? What is your area of interest / study? No, I'm not in school, and As of right now, I don't really have any plans to go to university or college. I'm definitely an artsy type, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what I would study. I don't know what I would do. I'm also a Pisces. That is something you need to know about me. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very indecisive, and I'm very, like, I have these dreams of like this different life I could have. So like I could go to school for this, but then like I would change my mind and want to do this, and then or this. So I can't pick. I'm not really a school person. The only class I really did good in was English. I don't really have any plans for further education, but I mean, who knows what the future brings. Describe yourself in a couple of words. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I would say strong-minded, very strong-minded. Creative, I guess, in like different ways. I think differently because I'm also left-handed. And quiet. I'm a very quiet person. What's one thing you wish you knew how to do? I definitely do wish I would have stuck with piano lessons. I took piano when I was in grade 11, and then I quit because, or was I in grade 12? Grade 11, I think, and then I quit because I just got too busy with school. I do wish I would have continued. I do know the basics of piano, so I mean I could continue to try to teach myself, I guess. What are some of your own personal goals in the next 5 years? Oh my god. That's scary. 5 years from now? Oh my gosh. Some personal goals. I would love to have a better diet and just cook more and like be a better cook. I really don't cook. Eat better, take care of myself better, try to exercise more. Like that is something I truly need to work on in the next 5 years, 100%. I would love to try to travel at some point in the next 5 years. Like go to Europe or something. That's maybe another personal goal. I should try to save up for that. I would definitely love to, like, this is not really a personal goal, I guess, but I'd love to like furnish my house completely. I've lived in my house for 3 years and I still don't really have art on the walls because I hate spending my own money. Especially if it's not on books. Like I really just don't like spending money. That's a personal goal. I'd like to have my house done. Or if I end up moving somewhere, like I want it to be done. Popcorn or ice cream? Ice cream. Beer or wine? Neither. I'm not really into alcohol. Dancing or singing? Singing. Facial hair or clean shaven? Facial hair. Grammys or Oscars? Oscars. Truth or dare? Truth. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Summer, winter, summer. Friends to lovers or enemies to lovers? Enemies to lovers. Do you plan to go to college/university? If so, do you have any idea what you would major in? I kind of already answered this. I would do something with art, but also like I'm huge into history. I really don't know. Have you watched The Society on Netflix? If you haven't, you should. I think you'd like it. No, I haven't. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I believe it's getting a second season, so maybe I'll check it out, but that's something that I'm really bad at, is like starting new shows. Because I have so many other shows that I need to catch up on that I feel guilty starting a new show. Have you ever been in a relationship? No. 2 of your all-time favorite book boyfriends? Oh my god. That is so hard to pick. I'm just gonna go to my default and say Rush Finley from the Rosemary Beach series by Abby Glines. And also Naz from, or Ignacio from Monster in His Eyes. We'll go with those two. What's your favorite drink? I love ice caps from Tim Hortons. That's literally my favorite drink. What's your favorite season? Anyone but winter. Have you seen the ocean? Yes. Have you ever been drunk? No, I haven't. I've been tipsy and I sound like the lamest person ever. I'm definitely the type that gets sad when they drink, so I don't like to drink at all. Because I get like very sad and very like I beat myself up. So, do you eat healthy? No. Again, that's a personal goal. I need to try to eat better because I don't, and it's embarrassing. How often do you eat out? Do you mean like restaurants or like fast food? Because restaurants I go rarely. Like it's always a special occasion or something like that. But fast food, I eat all the time. I probably have fast food like once a week at least. I have a horrible diet. Let's just say that. So those were all the questions that you guys asked me for my 5K Q&A. I guess if you have any other questions, you can ask them down below and maybe I'll answer them then and there, or maybe I'll make another Q&A video in a little while. But thank you so much for sending in all your questions, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!